If you're a woman and you're bleeding, every day is different. There are different biological processes, different hormones circulating your body, depending on where you are in the cycle. And this means that we shouldn't try to make every day the same, because every day is different. Every day of your cycle is part of a dynamic flow of hormonal changes. For example, during the follicular phase, right after your period, you're building energy. Estrogen levels rise, your body prepares for ovulation, and you often feel more confident, more creative, and more energized. Then comes ovulation, when your energy peaks. And after that, you enter the luteal phase, where progesterone rises and you might feel more reflective and slower. And finally, the menstruation, the time when your body sheds the uterine lining, which is a cleansing process. So what does this mean for your daily life? It means that as a woman, you're not supposed to show up the same way every single day. Unlike men, whose cycles reset every 24 hours, our cycles are longer, in average 28 days. Men wake up with stable hormone levels every day, which means that their energy, their mood and focus fluctuate much less than ours. And that's why it's easier for them to maintain the same level of performance day in, day out. But for us as women, each season in the cycle brings its own strengths. There are phases where we have limitless energy, can multitask effortlessly and feel like we're on top of the world. And then there are phases where we slow down, where we become more reflective and need more time for ourselves. And this is not a weakness, it's actually a strength. And it's about honoring each of these phases and giving each of one what it needs. The challenge comes when society tries to ignore these cycles. We're often pushed to keep performing at the same level every day, to be just as productive and driven as men. Now, to be clear, women and men should absolutely be equal in terms of rights, in terms of opportunities and value, but we don't have the same bodies. Our biology is different, and that's not something to ignore or suppress. So if you're in a season of your cycle where you need rest or introspection, it's perfectly okay to take that time for yourself. In fact, it's essential, because society doesn't often value time spent in introspection, but it's vital for our well-being. As women, we don't need to compete with men. We don't need to compare ourselves to men because we're different. So it's very important to stay with yourself, and even when from the outside there come expectations or other needs that you need to fulfill now, you need to listen to yourself first. And lately I read about a very interesting topic that I also want to share with you, and it's about tampons. So let's talk for a minute about tampons. Actually, I use them a lot, like I didn't use pads so much, because it's very convenient. Like, you put the tampon inside and you block the blood flow, and sometimes you even forget that you're bleeding because it makes it seem like you're not. Maybe you will change it every 4 to 6 hours, and the rest of the day you don't need to deal with this topic. So it's very convenient to stay focused, to work, to go to sports, to go to the supermarket, and to do everything like you do it normally. But if you think about it more closely, it's a little bit artificial. Like, the tampon soaks in all of the blood and it keeps the blood for the hours that you don't switch it in your body. And this is like not the purpose of the cleansing process of menstruation. The purpose is that the blood flows out of the body directly and is not kept inside for so long. that we can just ignore it, that it's happening. You can compare tampons like a plug that you put inside your body, and then you can just pretend that nothing is happening in our bodies. But when you're on period, it's very important to stay conscious and to be like conscious of what is happening right now, and not just to ignore it and switch your tampon every 48 hours and in the rest of the time don't need to deal with it. So I read in this article that it's more healthy to use pads instead of tampons, but I don't want to educate you. It's just an insight that I have, and for me it makes very much sense. And I still use tampons sometimes, but I try now most of the times to not use them and to let all of the blood come out. So yes, write me in the comments what you think about this topic, especially about the tampon ones. I'm very interested in your opinion. And in the end of the day, it's all about balance. Like, we have phases of high energy and phases where we need to slow down and stay more conscious. And in our cycle, both of them are equally important. So we can take our cycles as a powerful guide to understand our needs and like to listen to our body, because our body has a lot of wisdom that it tries to tell us. Let's embrace our seasons that we experience every month and give them the space and the respect they deserve. Thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.